All righty. Well, welcome everybody. Always a good day when we have red carpets. Like Kim said, another quick reminder, you guys have been real good about this, but put questions in the chat box, good stuff there. And then Mary Elizabeth is gonna talk on this in a little bit, but if you're ready to get up and do a little bit of movement, I think you'll have some fun today. So you'll be able to kind of watch us do that, so keep an eye out for that. But let me kind of dive in. I have the pleasure of introducing Mary Elizabeth with Dance Express today. Mary Elizabeth is from Hudson, New York, which is a upstate New York town right off the Hudson River. She came to Fort Collins because her sister was working here as a nurse, also lived in the area, and her husband, Jim, was attending CSU, so the timing was right for the move. Mary Elizabeth has 3 children, a girl named Martha and twins. The twins are named Gil and Riley. Each of her kiddos are starting their careers. Martha is living in New Mexico, Gil is here in Colorado, and Riley is in Washington State. Over the years, each of her 3 children have kind of been part of Dance Express in one way or another, whether it be the dancers, the work in the lighting, sound tech, or simply just audience members. So she's definitely had kind of a family help, so that's always wonderful. So Mary Elizabeth has a lot to be proud of from her kiddos. Mary Elizabeth has been here for quite some time. She loves Fort Collins, Colorado. Her favorite thing about the area is we actually get 4 seasons here in Colorado. I guess we don't really get that in New York. You get hundreds of days of blue sky. I have family on the East Coast, so I know for a fact that you don't even get close to that on the East Coast. It's pretty gloomy most of the time. And it's nice living with kind of just the variety of the beauty. We kind of live in a beautiful area. She does spend some time up at her one of her favorite areas, and that's the top of Bigham Hill Road. She's got a lot of hobbies. Of course, one of those hobbies is dance, and we're going to learn all about that in a second. She enjoys watercolors, needle felting, writing, reading, Sudoku, bicycling, hiking, travel, of course, meeting new people like we do in Red Carpet. And once a year or so, she does enjoy doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. Which is pretty incredible because anytime I've tried to do even a 500-piece puzzle, it takes me like 2 years to finish it. I asked Mary Elizabeth how she kind of started her journey with Dance Express. And Mary Elizabeth, she replied, I enjoy dancing. I enjoyed dancing growing up, whether it be at weddings, at polka hops, or on Sunday afternoons, or at Friday night dances in high school. When I went to college, I danced in dance and theater productions. And one of my sisters, named Teresa, liked to dance and could usually be found on the dance floor at events. When I went for my master's degree in occupational therapy, I realized that I could combine my joy of dance with the love and insight I had from my sister, Teresa. Teresa was born with Down syndrome, and who was born with Down syndrome. Fortunately, I met Jane, who was then starting at the dance department as the director at CSU, and Mark Rosoff, who had implemented creative arts workshops in Fort Collins. We auditioned as the first dancers in February of 1989, and they selected 6 to be the original dancers, and one of them is still a member of Dance Express. So this started a long, long time ago through her education. She had motivation from her sister, and the story kind of spoke to herself. I guess you could say that dance is really her calling, and fortunately for us, and fortunately for Dance Express, Mary Elizabeth listened to that calling. I asked her if she could only eat one food for the rest of her life, and she fired back, well, that's just stupid, I can't pick just one. So I let her pick 2, and she said it would be a toss-up between raspberries and avocados. I don't know if at the same time, but both of those things sound delicious to me. So I appreciate everybody here today. Let's go ahead and jump into it and give Mary Elizabeth a warm red carpet welcome.
Thank you, Chad. Thanks for introducing me so nicely. That was lovely. You know, in our breakout room, I guess we were supposed to talk about hobbies. That's what Richard said. And when Chad said needle felting, you might not be familiar with needle felting, but needle felting is when we'll use wool roving and a sharp needle, and you create things. So those are needle felt. Anyway, so I am Mary Elizabeth Lenihan. I'm a 2nd generation citizen of the United States. My mother is Catherine Mary Drabik Lenihan, and from her roots are from Poland. And my father is John Joseph Lenihan Jr., and he was from Ireland. And so I moved out to Colorado quite a long time ago, and Chad already mentioned that I started the dance company in when I was getting my master's in occupational therapy. So people with Down syndrome, I find, have a natural sense of rhythm and joy in dance. And anybody of any stage can actually enjoy dance. And so that's where we've moved forward. In the year, we have had up to 4 productions. We'd like to do an October inclusive dance convening where people with or without disabilities can come in and learn to dance. So it's not ballroom dancing, it's just how to use your body and enjoy movement. Then we do a December production, which is at the Lincoln Center, typically in the Magnolia. And I've heard that they will be reopening, but that they may not allow full capacity. So that's going to change things for our December. And then we do a studio concert, which we would have done in May, where our dancers actually do their own choreography, and then we have some group pieces that people participate in. And again, we weren't able to do that in May, so now we're investigating videotaping and possibly for having it presented, you know, at the drive-in or at any other kind of a large venue where people can stay separate and still see what we're doing. So it's a challenge. It's kind of fun though. And then we do workshops in schools and community centers. So perhaps the chamber someday might like to say, can we do a dance workshop? And I'll say, oh, of course you can. And so then we can all do something together, and it builds community. And I do that with supported services and schools and nursing homes so that I can go to a place and do a workshop with the people. And again, we're at a challenge now. How do we make that work? So I'm going to have some more to say in a little bit, but I thought I'd have everybody get up, and I'm going to teach you a concentration exercise so that you get to use your body and feel what that is like to move and think with your body. So if you'll stand up, Chad's going to do it behind me at a good 6 feet distance. And we're going to pattern it in your body first, and then do the whole thing. So we're going to start on this side. And I can see you, so I'll know if you're doing it or not. And then this side still again. And then you try the other side. And you're going to notice something on this other side that you don't stop. And then we're going to do them together.
No, I'm not very good.
I tried to show Chad the other day so that he could be prepared. But it took me several months to really learn it. And I'm going to let you concentrate one more time, and we'll do it one more time. It's important that you pattern so that your joints and your muscles know what's going on, and that you're doing it in a full range, because that way your body remembers, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And then it's kind of like playing the piano, in that one side's doing one thing and the other side's doing the other. Okay, so then we go together, and here we go, and. How'd you do? How'd everybody do? Pretty good?
That's me.
Pitiful.
I don't know about everybody else, but.
All right, John, it looked like you were doing pretty good, yeah. All right, so, you know, Dance Express is a nonprofit. So 1989, we were established. In 1992, we were incorporated in the state and became a 501c3. So then, we're doing a lot of things, and if the people from the chamber would like to be more involved with Dance Express, there's volunteer opportunities, be it with dance, on the board, working on planning for the future, helping with productions, or even helping with just office and accounting type things. So those are always volunteer opportunities in any nonprofit. Then today we're running a crowdfunding campaign this summer. It's called Dancing Beyond 2020. And I have a link that we can put in the chat. I'll put it in the chat while people are doing questions. We can have that happen. And I have reached out to people in the chamber, and I'd like to reach out again that if you'd like to sponsor a day, the crowdfunding runs for about 6 weeks. So if one day, for example, the sponsor would be a company, say, pretend it was Ramplify. So Ramplify sponsors a day. They said, we will match up to so many dollars on this day, and then that encourages more people to engage. So that's an opportunity for people from the chamber. Or if you want to, you can donate to the crowdfunding, and there are prizes. Every week, we're doing a drawing for a prize. Mod Pizza, La Creperie, Red Robin, Target. And then at the end of the whole funding, Homewood Suites, where I won a night back at the red carpet in the fall, we've converted that prize into a prize for Dancing Beyond 2020. So all the names will go into the hat for that. So if you check out our crowdfunding and you decide I'd like to make a donation, then you at least have the chance to win some prizes. And that's a nice thing too, and you support Dance Express. So I'd like to open it up for questions if you have any.
Let me.
Unless I talk too fast.
Does anyone have any questions? Patty has a question. How many students do you have?
Students, well, see, we're a dance company. We're not actually a school. So we have 8 people in our dance troupe who perform. But then during the year, when we do our workshops, we meet with different groups of people. And so last year we did the fall workshop at CSU. There were like 100 students, or we'll do a community outreach group and then maybe 10 students. So in our teaching of people who are not in Dance Express per se, we probably teach 200 in a year. And then as far as reaching people in our productions and such, that can vary from 500 to 1,000 depending on how many people come and what we're doing. Wow. So last December, we did December Memories and we worked with Impulse Dance. There's 3 performances. We usually do one evening and then a matinee in the evening. And we had many hundred people come, and it was very nice to have that combination of an adult dance company of people who do not have disabilities with our dance company who are people who have varied abilities. So it was just wonderful.
Wonderful, that's awesome. Another question is, do you have to audition, and when are your auditions?
Well, I do like people to audition, but it's pretty much on an individual basis. So we have a website, I guess we should put that in the chat as well, that there people can apply, fill out the form, and then I contact them and we meet and we talk about what they want to do as far as dancer or assistant to dancers. And yes, we do audition. Auditions are kind of ongoing in a way. Our year runs June to May. And so right now I would be accepting new dancers, but I will accept them throughout the year.
Okay, and what age groups? So
we are an adult dance company. Mostly people start at 16, and our prima ballerina, Tamara, who started in 1989, she was 15. So I'll make the exception. Somebody can be a little bit younger, but it's all ages. And when we do work with children, it's at the school. So then we reach younger than 16.
Okay. Deborah has a question. Are you going to be able to do any of your smaller outdoor productions that she's seen in the past?
Oh, thanks, Deb. Well, I don't know. I'm talking to all different people now because our studio concert is something that I still want to get done. And if we do it virtually, we might be able to be outdoors with a huge screen. But see, my dancers are feeling that they need to protect themselves. So many of them are still sheltering and don't even want to leave their homes. So I can't say that we will perform publicly until the restrictions are lifted.
Okay, that makes sense. Does the money from Dancing Beyond 2020 go to the studio in general or a specific program that you're doing?
It's for the Dance Express. It's for the company, for us to launch into the future and keep going beyond 2020.
Okay.
To implement more programs, hopefully to then bring in opportunities to teach children rather than just adults as well.
Okay. Mike Wilson, can you expand upon the benefits of movement and coordination for people of different age demographics?
Oh, Mike, you know the answer to that. That's your forte. Well, I actually know I'm always investigating more and more the benefits of dance and movement. Most recent book I'm reading is about the impact on slowing down aging. You know, reducing your pain and your mobility. That doesn't have to happen. You can use dance to keep yourself fit. And of course, I think that memory is a huge piece of dance, because you saw today when we even did that little exercise, you have to feel it, but you have to remember. So it's good. I think the third thing that might be important to think about is the community building that happens with dance. You know, you dance together, you laugh together, you engage, and then when you perform, it just builds community. That's a
Very good.
brief answer.
Good thing. Francis would like to know, where do you do your rehearsals when you can do them?
Well, we have, like now we've been using virtual Zoom, but we've met at Club Tico, the Masonic, Raintree Athletic Club, the Senior Center, Yarrow Fitness Room. So depending on the season and depending on who we are in touch with, we use those facilities.
Okay.
And I'm hoping, we're talking about returning to the Masonic this year, and it's a vast space. It's at least 10 times as big as this studio, so that we could probably do it with the spacing. Yeah.
Okay. If anyone would like to volunteer, what would they expect to be doing?
Well, whatever they'd like, but if you have an area of interest that you want to explore, then I'm happy to talk to you about that. Right now, the being on the board is an important thing to help us plan and build into the future. But a lot of people love to volunteer as dancers, and then they work with the dancers, they do choreography. So I have some students from CSU, and what I've had them do is be models for dancers. But I spoke to someone else and they like to help with mailing or accounting. So there's a application on the website, and then I'll call you and we can talk about what you'd like to do.
Okay, perfect. And I did put her website in the chat, so everyone should be able to see that.
Okay.
So that one's in there. And then the GoFundMe page is on there as well. David Brown, thank you.
Oh, you were able to find that and put that in?
Yep, David put that on there, so.
Oh, thank you, David. Oh, yes, and please, let's introduce David Brown. He is on the board of directors of Dance Express. I asked him to join us today, and he's our fundraising chair. So I don't know if you'd like to pin him, and David, if you'd like to say a few words, that'd be fine with me.
Let me find him. And I think I just need to David, can you unmute yourself?
I can.
Okay, and then I will make you, I'll take, whoops. Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, you have to get your video.
I lost Mary Elizabeth now.
That's all right. What does that start by?
Okay, David, if you'd like to talk, and then Mary Elizabeth, if you can push your video button.
Sure.
I did do that.
Okay, and then David, you should be able to talk.
I'm very able to talk. I've always been
Awesome.
able
There we
to
go.
communicate pretty well. Mom could never shut me up. But I got to be honest with you, the person who was able to really close my mouth, though, was Mary Elizabeth. You know, the first time I met her, I was so impressed with what she did and what she brought to this world in general, that I was immediately taken and asked what I could do to help. And she immediately put me to work, by God. So she can get people moving. In my normal workaday world, I'm a real estate agent with Remax Alliance, and I've always felt like my goal in life is to help people improve their lives, you know, with real estate, honestly, and her goal is to help people's lives through dance. So I feel like we got a meeting of the minds.
Very nice. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
Thank you for having me.
And then Mary Elizabeth, we have one testimonial from Deb. She's just a testimony that Mary Elizabeth and this program brings such joy to her participants. It's really fun to watch just their expression while performing. Her dedication and compassion to the program is wonderful.
Thank you, Deb. And Deb actually had the privilege of knowing my sister, Teresa. So
Very nice. Very good. And then, another testimonial from Nate. Foothills Gateway is grateful and thankful for the inspiring words with the individuals that you teach. So,
yes, and it's, one time we did a workshop out at Foothills Gateway, many people. And we said, how many people have been in Dance Express? And probably about 75 or 80 people stood up and been with us over the years. It was nice.
That's wonderful. And then one other quick question. What is your dance focus? Modern, ballet, contemporary?
Well, it's modern, improvisational, and lyrical, I'd like to say. But my dancers really like to do what they see on like MTV, so I have to still say, okay, you can do Michael Jackson or you can do, some of this really fancy stuff, but I also want you to do other dances.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for Mary Elizabeth? You can also just unmute yourself if you'd like. But yeah, let me know. And if not, then we will go ahead and cut that red ribbon.
Okay.
Perfect. So quick reminder, everybody, if you check out the GoFundMe page, you do get put into that drawing for some of those really, really good things that that Mary Elizabeth has touched on. So whether it be, like the grand prize of the stay at a hotel, or it be any of those gift cards to some of our great local restaurants. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you contribute if you can or if you want. That's the best way to kind of show your support with this social distancing. Someday we'll be able to see the studio in person, so keep an eye out for that as well. But what we'll do is we'll jump into this red ribbon cutting.
And we did not even practice. We're going to be able to do this without a practice.
There's only two of us, so it's dangerous. So, all right, gang. So on 1, 2, 3, dance! 1, 2, 3.
Dance!
Dance!
Yay!
Yay!
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mary Elizabeth, for having